Let's talk about keyboard shortcuts when entering dates. Let's say I'm entering the date into a window such as the Create Invoices window. The date field defaults to today's date. The first step is to highlight the date field. I do this by pressing Tab, which is faster than using my mouse. With the date field highlighted, if I press the plus key on the keyboard, which I'm going to do now, the date will increase by 1 day each time I press it. I'm going to keep on pressing it, and it keeps advancing 1 day. If I press the minus key on my keyboard, the date will decrease by a day each time I press it. Now, there's also a shortcut for changing the date to today's date. The word today starts with the letter T, so if I press the letter T on my keyboard, which I'm going to do now, it changes the date to today. If I keep pressing T, nothing happens. Now there's also a shortcut for changing the date to the first date of the year. Notice that the word year starts with a Y. If I press the Y on my keyboard, which I'll do now, it changes the date to the first day of the year. If I keep pressing Y, which I'll keep doing now, it keeps going back a year. If I press R, which is the last letter in the word year, it advances the date to the last day of the year. I'll press it now. If I keep pressing R, the date advances to the last day of the next year. The same thing happens with the word month. Press the first letter of the word, which is M. So I'm going to press M on my keyboard now. The date changes back to the first day of the month. If I keep pressing M, it keeps advancing back a month. If I press H, which is the last letter in the word month, it advances the date to the last day of the month. I'll press H now. If I keep pressing H, the date advances to the last day of the next month. And lastly, the same thing happens with the word week. Press the first letter of the word, which is W, and I'll do it now, and the date changes back to the first day of the year. If I keep pressing W, it keeps advancing back a week. It might be easier to see what's going on if I open the calendar icon. So I'm going to keep pressing W, which goes back a week to the first day of the week. When I get to the appropriate date, I just need to hit the Tab key to have QuickBooks close the calendar icon and accept the date. If I press K, which is the last letter in the word week, it advances the date to the last day of the week. And when I get to the date I want, I'm just going to press Tab, and it accepts that date. So those are some keyboard shortcuts for entering dates into QuickBooks Desktop.